Dungeons and Dragons Beyond is? Well, basically it is a online tool, a online application where everything that is official about Dungeons and Dragons has been placed in there, and you can use it to create monsters. Sorry, you can use it to create characters, run your campaigns, share stuff with your players, and stuff like that. It is very, very, very good and very easy to use, but it has two major flaws for me. First of all, is that it is a online tool. And by that I mean they have been saying they are going to release a offline application for this, and they've been saying this for a long time now, but still I have not yet seen a online application, a offline application of it, so I'm still waiting on that. Second of all, it is ridiculously, and I'm saying it one more time, ridiculously overpriced. I'm sorry, the application by itself is very good. Is Beyond, somebody is asking, Yona is asking, is Beyond free or pay per month? Well, there is the issue. The people from Dungeons & Dragons Beyond have been friendly enough to give me permission to use Dungeons & Dragons Beyond for 2 months, full option. This means that I am using a package with all the rules that are out there of Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons in there, and it would have cost me 300, and I have to, I don't know for sure 300, and I think 30 or 360. I think there's people in the chat who should know this, $360 or something to buy content you probably already have on paper. So that's it for me, to my opinion. Although it is a very, very good application, it is ridiculously overpriced, and you can only use it if you are sitting behind a computer or a tablet that has a Wi-Fi connection. So if you are playing Dungeons and Dragons somewhere on a mountain in your tent, you will not be able to use Dungeons and Dragons Beyond. So if there's anybody in the chat, and then I look that way for the chat, who wants to know anything about this program, about this application, just ask me. Of course, Yona, I have to clarify that what I said. This $360 thing, if you buy this, you will get it for life, and you can even share content with other players. So it is not that you pay $360 per 2 months or something like that. It's not that. It's just you have it for life, but then still I think it is ridiculously overpriced because, for example, you have to buy all the stuff that is in the player's handbook. You have to buy all the stuff that is in the Dungeon Master's Guide, in the Monsters Manual. Then there are the adventures, and you have to buy it in Dungeons & Dragons Beyond to be able to use it. And if you want to use it, you just pay for it again, even if you already have it on paper like me. I have almost all the books, and that's just ridiculous. Oh, and then there's another downside, and when I'm done with the downsides of Dungeons & Dragons Beyond, I will go into the cool stuff about it, and that is they have something on top of paying for everything. You have, and I'm going to the marketplace right here, you actually have a subscription-based program. And this is, don't forget, this is on top of paying for all the content. So if you want all the content, you're paying more than $300 already. And then they expect you, if you are a player, to pay $2.99 a month. And if you are a Dungeon Master, to pay $5.99 a month. To, for example, when you are a player, you will be the hero tier, intended primarily for players. This tier removes ads. I mean, I just don't know what to say about this. It removes ads. You've paid $300, and on top of that you have to pay $2.99 a month to remove ads. Anyway, allows you to create an unlimited number of characters. Cool enough. Publicly shared homebrew content collection to use within the toolset. Very cool. And then there is a Dungeon Master tier, independent primarily for Dungeon Masters and player groups. This tier grants all the benefits of the hero tier, and allows you to share all of your unlocked official content with other players within your campaign, so content does not have to be unlocked individually. Very cool. I don't really get why there is a subscription thing to remove ads and to be able to share stuff you would be able to share if you bought it on paper. So let's see what people are actually saying in the chat. I sometimes just have to go here to see if you are question. Can you show us the homebrew content? Is there a lot of content in there? The French Taunter. Yes, of course, the French Taunter. I can do that for you. The homebrew content. Let me see where my homebrew creations. That's right here, homebrew creations. There is actually people who are paying for the master tier. I, by the way, have not paid for this. I got this as a present from Dungeons & Dragons Beyond to feature it on my channel. People who, these are actually my homebrew creations. Let me see. Homebrew collection, probably. I have to go. Homebrew collection, no. Feats. Filter. Nothing found with those. What? What? Okay. I'm already screwing up. Okay, the last time I checked this, Forge Your Journey. Thank you for your super chats. You just paid $2 for me to be able to continue what I'm doing. That's so awesome of you. So, dude, people, click on that guy's link, check his channel, subscribe to his channel. Thanks for running live on YouTube, Mr. T. No problem. Somebody, Sander, is saying EA, Electronic Arts Tactics. Yeah, that's basically what they're doing. But to go back to the homebrew collection, I think I have to go to, yes, Monsters, for example. Homebrew Monsters. Then you actually have a lot of people that created homebrew stuff. And you can actually browse their stuff if they are paying for the subscription and if you are paying for the subscription. So, for example, somebody created a dragon, let's say a dragon of challenge rating 20 and up. Who knows if somebody ever created a dragon. I mean, the game is called Dungeons and Dragons. So, yeah, these are all the homebrew creations I find with the filter of a dragon and challenge rating between 20 and 30. So there's a lot of people, well, actually there's a lot of the same people doing this. So that's because only a few people are actually paying for this, I guess. There's even, I saw a post of somebody even actually being crazy enough to put every single monster from the Tome of Beasts by Kobold Press, that's more than 400 monsters, in here as homebrew. So, I mean, if you pay for this, you get that kind of content too, which is great. So, hello, Mr. T. Somebody says, hello, comrade. This is one of my Patreon supporters, by the way. So, thumbs up to that. Thanks for joining the channel. There's 11 people watching, which is very cool. Spare us, please, oh great gods of the microtransactions. Yeah, I kind of feel that they're doing this with us, and they probably have their reason to do this. I saw a post on Twitter where they actually said that it is impossible for putting codes in the books, so you get a discount on D&D Beyond to buy the book again digitally, because then people would go into the store and look into the books, write down the code, which I just want to call bullshit on, because that's just, there's a lot of methods you can use for going against that. For example, wrapping books in plastic or making codes scratchable inside of the book, stuff like that. So yeah, but I have to say, if it was not ridiculously overpriced, this would be an amazing thing. It is actually pretty... Hello from Portugal, I'm a big fan. JDF, thanks for being a big fan. I mean, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you guys. I hope I can help you guys. If you have questions, put question in front of your question so I can scan over your chat really quickly. and see where the questions are. Otherwise, I will drown in the chat. So I suggest we create a character builder. So hey Brian, you're late. No, you're right on time because we are about to create a character. Let's say we are not beginners anymore and just start by creating a character. Of course, you get all of the stuff that tells you what creating a character is. So all I want from you guys right now is a name for our character. What should our character be named? Anybody? I'm waiting. I'm actually waiting. Nobody? Okay, I'll just call... Aileron. Aileron. Okay, the name of the character is Aileron. So you actually get to create a character. I have all the rules that are 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons loaded up in Dungeons & Dragons Beyond, so I can do whatever I want. Then you get some basic character portraits, which I actually like. These are really old school, which this is really cool. But of course, and yes, my computer isn't Dutch. Sorry for that. I can actually browse for a character, so let's just take this guy, a wizard type guy, and just take that as our portrait. Allow homebrew content. Question, are unearthed arcanas? Well, the French Taunter, that's a very good question. And actually, I was asking myself that same question before I wanted to start this live stream. And just yesterday, I saw a post, I think it was on Twitter, but I'm not sure, or just on the official Dungeons & Dragons site, where they said Unearthed Arcana stuff is going to be in Dungeons & Dragons Beyond very soon. So, or it is already in there, I don't know, maybe we encounter it somewhere along the line, but I don't know for sure if it's in there, but it will be in there. Let's see, allow homebrew content, nope. Critical Role content. Oh, there it is. Playtest content. That is actually the Unearthed Arcana content. So let's just allow everything that is in here. Advancement type, experience points, confirm, use encumbrance. Of course we use encumbrance. Fixed hit points, known show unarmed strikes. So, just to show off, Brian is saying most Unearthed Arcana stuff made it into Xeneters anyway, so there is that. Well, actually, yeah, the good stuff did. And people may notice, people who follow me on Twitter may notice already I am not a fan of Unearthed Arcana because I feel that Unearthed Arcana tries to fix stuff that doesn't need fixing. I mean, there is so much in the player's handbook that people are forgetting that is in there, and I just wish people just grab their player's handbook and play what's ever in there. I mean, you can play unlimited hours of fun from just a player's handbook. So, what race should we create? Let's create a character together, because you guys are here to see what Dungeons & Dragons Beyond is all about. I'm just going to sit here and drink my tea because, very honest, I am talking a lot and I still have that same cold I had 3 freaking weeks ago. Tiefling. Okay, let's create a tiefling. I'll just type it in search, tiefling. Okay, we actually have 4 tieflings for some reason. This is what I mean. There's way too much stuff going on. I just take a random tiefling. Then, of course, it says whatever you get from being a tiefling, which is great. You get all this stuff from being a tiefling. And the cool thing about this program is it does all of that work for you. For some people, that is very cool, but for people like me who are old school, I always tend to go back to pencil and paper. I really want to do the math myself, but still, there is a lot of cool stuff about this. So you get dark vision, hellish resistance, You have resistance to fire damage, which we all know a tiefling has. The Infernal Legacy and stuff like that. Now, of course, what do we do after choosing a race? We choose our class. So I'm going to drink from my tea again, wait for you guys to name a class. I don't care what class it is, even if it's a freaking bard. No, I actually love bards, by the way. I love bards, yes. Blood Hunter. There it is. Critical Role, Blood Hunter. It actually, this guy from Critical Role actually managed to put his stuff in here. That's actually pretty. It's actually pretty amazing. Let's see. Okay. It gives you proficiencies, and it will ask us about that later. We are now a Tiefling Blood Hunter. So we are a Tiefling Blood Hunter named Aileron. We have hit points at first level. We are creating a first level character, and then we will level it up to like say level 5 or something, just so you guys can see what Dungeons and Dragons is all about, how it works, how easy it is to work with, how ridiculously overpriced it is. For people who are just stopping by, I said earlier in this stream that Dungeons and Dragons Beyond is very good application, but it's actually ridiculously overpriced. Especially the subscriptions are just, I mean, you pay a lot of money to have a lot of content, and then you have to pay a monthly subscription to get rid of ads. That just doesn't, for me, that's just, I have no words for that. Anyway, hit points, it doesn't automatically. Then we have to choose our proficiencies. Let's say proficiencies, we just choose some proficiencies, acrobatics, investigation. Yes, we're building a very bad character, but somebody is asking, are there loot boxes? Well, actually, dude, there are no loot boxes yet, but they will probably be there someday. Crimson's right. I have no idea what all of this does, so I will actually... Oh, I can actually see what it does, read about it, and then just choose an option. I will just choose an option at random right now. Ability scores. Then there are, of course, your methods of using ability scores. And the great thing about this is that it does all of this stuff automatically. So I just use, for example, the standard array, and we are just going to use what is the most important... What the hell is a blood hunter, actually? What is a blood hunter? What is the most important thing for a blood hunter? I mean, anybody? A blood hunter? I mean, you unlock new characters if you play 40 hours. Yeah, if you play 40 hours of Dungeons & Dragons Beyond, you can play with Darth Vader. Just saying, you can play Darth Vader. You play 80 hours, you can play Luke Skywalker, and you can even play Darth Maul if you play 60 hours. So that's great. Somebody that's hunts blood. Yeah, but what's the... I would say, what is that? Down just wisdom? Charisma? Just charisma. I just go like this. I don't care. Like this? Okay. Describe your character. Background. Choose an option. Let's say he was a courtier. Let's say we choose a language. We just do stuff like that. Deep speech. Then it, of course, says wisdom and constitution. Okay, I have to go back because it is wisdom and constitution. That needs to be... wisdom and constitution. We just do it like that. Of course, it automatically changes your ability scores from your race. So it automatically adjusts that. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, we are a courtier. We have these things. Choose equipment. Of course, we choose equipment. Let's pick some starting equipments. A martial weapon, a light crossbow, studded leather armor. Add starting equipment. Boom, there it is. We can even use... No, we can even use this. use this. There it is. So you can actually select what you wear and what you don't wear, what's in your backpack, what's not in your backpack. It will automatically arrange it like with the weight and stuff, see if you're encumbered or anything. And then our character is done. We click view character sheet and there he or she is. We have Aileron the Blood Hunter. Yes, Aileron the Blood Hunter. Now, the cool thing about about this is that, of course, everything is on here. Everything that that's supposed to be on here for a character is on there. Your attack, your skills, your abilities, your features, and something I find very cool myself is when I was using this when I was playing online a few weeks ago. I was playing online with some friends, and when you use up some of your stuff, you can actually say you used up one of your features, which this doesn't have, but anyway. And then you just click short rest, and you can actually say you are taking a short rest, and then it automatically just adjusts everything back to where it needs to be. So for example, if you are a fighter and you click short rest, you will have your action surge back, you will have your second wind back and all your other fighter abilities because they are all short rest because fighter is epic. So that's basically how you create a character, and then of course you can adjust your character by managing its levels. Let's see, can I add multiple bonds and flaws? Well, I will go back into that, Brian, in a couple of minutes. So if you want to adjust your level, of course, you can say, no, I just want him to be level 5, confirm, and then you get everything. It just asks you, oh, you need to choose a fighting style. No problem. We take archery. You need to choose a blood curse, which is also no problem. We choose this one. You need to choose something else, your order, mutants, and an ability score. Oh, even your genes. I have no idea what this character does. We're just building it because, well, basically we're just building it. Let's see. And then there is an ability score improvement. Let's say we improve our constitution and our wisdom. And of course, if you choose to pick a feat, the effects of that feat will automatically be added to your character. It will automatically reset when you click short or long rest if it needs to be reset. Stuff like that is just very, very well done. Of course, you can see in the top right corner that my hit points are now changed, so that's actually not a problem. Somebody was actually asking a question. Brian, girding, can I add multiple bonds? Can I add multiple bonds and flaws? Let's say added character. Description. Bonds and flaws will probably backgrounds, language. Where are the bonds and the flaws? That's actually a very, very good question. Let me see how this works. Brian, hang in there for a second. Oh, here they are. Here they are. Ideals, bonds, and flaws. Flaws. Add a flaw. You literally just type in whatever flaw you want. I like My Little Pony. I also like Star Wars. I like playing as a character in D&D as much as DMing, but I like playing a little bit more. Stuff like that. So yeah, there's actually no... I can't really find if the flaws and bonds from the player's handbook or whatever are in there. I just have to type them in myself. Also, you can of course make notes on your campaign you're playing, like organization, allies, enemies, backstory, other stuff, so you can really save on, like, I hate the person next to me. Like, for example, your girlfriend or something, or your mother-in-law sitting to your left, and you hate that person, you can just write it at your character sheet. So, if there is any questions about character creation, character customization, character whateverization, ask them now, because I want to know from you guys what you think. For me personally, I think it is very easy to use. I think it's a very great application. It is just overpriced, but it is very, very, very well made. The people who are programming this stuff are really doing a good job. Brian is asking... Brian was actually asking something. Dan Dillon. Hey, Dan. Welcome. This is Dan from Facebook. I missed the beginning. Are you using the full version or the free version? I am actually using the $360 version, because the people from D&D Beyond gave me a 2-month free use of this program, of this thing, just to feature it on my channel, to give my opinion and stuff like that, because, well, I'm here to give my opinion on stuff for you guys, and I just want you guys to see what it actually does. So yeah, I am actually using the full option with the subscription, no ads. Normally, I can share everything I have with my players. If they enter my campaign, they can create characters in my campaign using my shared content. So yeah, I'm actually using that. Dan Dillon is also asking, cool, I'm a bit surprised the background traits aren't in there. Well, me too, actually. Brian asked this, and actually I have to admit that I am also surprised that you have to enter them manually. Now, keep in mind that the people from D&D Beyond are always saying that it is a work in progress, so it is maybe to be added later. Maybe they wanted to focus on the math first and on the role-playing aspect later. I don't really know. Also, for people, this is something I really want to say, for people who want the classic look of Dungeons and Dragons, you can actually, at the end of your character creation, you can actually export character sheets, and of course you get a classic looking character sheet that has everything filled in for you. So this is just an extra. Of course, you can do this yourself if you have pen and if you have paper and have a printer, and you don't even need a printer. You can just write this stuff down on a piece of paper. So yeah, any questions about the character creation side of Dungeons & Dragons Beyond, ask them now, so we can look at them now. So yeah. Let's see my content. Of course, there is also what we've been doing right now is all made for the players. Of course, creating characters is made for the players. Then, of course, there's a lot of stuff for the Dungeon Master. When I click my content, my campaigns, you can actually start a campaign, and if you have the full option version of Dungeons & Dragons Beyond, you can actually invite people into your campaign. You can see that I have a test campaign called Test Campaign right now, which has 4 player characters from some friends of mine. I shared the link with some friends of mine, and they were able to create a character because I have this account going on. So they all created a character, and I can actually share stuff with them. Let's see. I can see. I can view their characters. By the way, I can see that who they are, what level they are. I can add notes that are private for me. I can add notes that are public for my players. I can send. I have a link right here I can send to those people, and that's about it for a dungeon master. But the great thing for a dungeon master is if you have, say, a tablet that you can bring to the table and there is an internet connection, because the free app has not been released yet. If I got 10 friends to all chip in $30, would we be able to use it equally if we shared an account? To answer Brian's question, as I was saying, if somebody takes the full Dungeon Master stuff and you all chip in for that, he can actually create a campaign. And if you join that campaign, you can actually, I think you can actually get your hands on all of the content that is in there. If he has content sharing enabled, of course. If he is a dick and he doesn't, then that's his problem, of course. I see that there are 10 people watching right now. I just want to take a little break. Not from this stream, but I just want to say, if all of you just like to raise your cup of coffee, cup of tea, or can of soda right now, and don't drink from it, but look at it very carefully, because this drink has probably cost you more than it would cost you to support me for $1 a month on Patreon. So if you want some great exclusive content, some exclusive giveaways, and you want to buy me a cup of coffee, 1 cup of coffee a month, go to my Patreon page, check out what I do. If you want to support me, please do. If you don't want to support me, please don't, but we will continue this stream right now. Also, if you want to support me only once, there is an option in the chat for a super chat, which you can enter any amount you want and it will light up and you will have supported me. Brian is saying he's actually drinking tap water. Well, then I rest my case. You won. You rolled a critical 20. So yeah, of course, you can also, as a dungeon master, like for example, let's say I go to a game, to a live game with live players, with my friends. I bring a tablet along with this application on it. No, just the website on it, because there's still no app. I can actually just go to the companion and look up all of the basic rules that are, no, all of the rules that are 5th edition. All of the monsters, all of everything. I can go to the monsters, and this is something also I would like to point out. This is really great. Monsters listing. So let's say my players are actually level 20 and I want to have them fight a gargantuan monster challenge rating 20 to 25. I can actually filter my monsters right there on the spot. I can even say where my players are. They are in a mountain environment. And then I click filter monsters, and of course I get some basic information about the monsters that are filtered out. Ancient Red Dragon, for example, a gargantuan dragon that is chaotic evil, environment, hill, and so on. I click it, and then of course it takes me to whatever I need to know about the Ancient Red Dragon, which for me, well, I am old school, and why in heaven's name are there, why, this, why? What? Okay, there are ads. There are ads on my page. This shouldn't be there, because this potentially cost me a lot of money. So this shouldn't be there. But anyway, it is there. It's probably a malfunction. So there's an ugly looking ad next to my red dragon. So it's a rad dragon. So yeah, everything is in here, how to play it, all the information you need about the red dragon and stuff like that. Every monster that is in all of the books, if you buy for all of the books, is in there. Also, all of the adventures that have been released are in here, so you can like really, you should go to, for example, Rise of Tiamat, and you just go there and then you can see where your players are. Episode 5, first attack. Let's say they are at that spot. Spoiler alerts! And And yeah, you can like literally use this to I just saw a subscription coming in, so I would like to thank Alessio Casagrande. Alessio Casagrande. Thanks for subscribing, Alessio. If you're in here, thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate it. So yeah, all of the adventures are in here. All of the magic items, for example, are also in here. All of the also with, of course, a filter option. And I know that this sounds really dumb, what I'm going to say right now, but this filter option really is a very good option for somebody like me. Because, for example, if I have to look up a monster really quickly in the monsters manual, I am dyslexic, which means that I can use the alphabet like jack shit. So that means I have a hard time looking up a monster, and I have a hard time looking up a spell. Because when I see a spell and I want to look up in the player's handbook what it does, I really need to like search for it, because I don't know where the B or where the T is in the alphabet. So I really need to like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, go like that. So for me, these kinds of things really help. I don't think they're worth more than $300 and $2.99 or even $5.99 a month, but they are very good. So, are there any questions? Brian, now see, as someone that likes to play the pre-made modules, I do love this aspect of it. Printing and looking up monster stats as multiple books gets annoying. Well, Brian, I have the same feeling. That would be a sale point for me. If it was cheaper, I would probably be already using it. For me, I think I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think if you start out with Dungeons and Dragons, 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, you have to make a choice for yourself. I think that you either have to use Dungeons and Dragons Beyond and buy everything in Dungeons and Dragons Beyond, taking the risk that if you have no internet that you can't use it. Up until this point, I mean, in the future you will, or you buy the books physically from Amazon or a bookstore, because support your local bookstore, and you use paper, pencil and paper. I think it is more a matter of choice than it is a matter of using both. I think, like me, if you bought the Player's Handbook, the Monsters Manual, the Dungeon Master's Guides, the Volo's Guides, the Xanathar's Guide, and what the starter set and everything I have laying around here, what I'm probably forgetting, I don't think it's worth paying for it again just to have the convenience of looking it up, being able to reach it very easy. Please keep in mind that English is not my native language, so I sometimes have to come up with words that I didn't even know existed. So let's see if somebody in the chat says something. Question: what are your thoughts on Unearthed Arcana? Beastmaster, as you mentioned earlier, that you're not a fan of Unearthed Arcanas. The French Taunter, I still think that if you play the Player's Handbook Beastmaster the way it's supposed to be played, and ask Dan Dillon about that, he knows a lot about that, that it is a really good class. The thing is, the beasts you are able to use that are in the Player's Handbook, there is just not enough options. But if you go to the other monsters manuals and the other books, there is enough beasts for you to use, and you really don't need the Unearthed Arcana Battlemaster. I still think Unearthed Arcana is trying to fix stuff that they don't need to fix. So I hope that answers your question. But please go to the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition Facebook page. Search around for Dan Dillon. Dan Dillon. He was in the chat earlier. I don't know if he's still in the chat. Just look around for that, for him. Because, well, he knows a lot about that. He's a very big fan of the Unearthed Arcana Beastmaster. Brian Girding, how easy is it to just pay the monthly fee and add all the content I want manually with the homebrew editor? Well, actually, I am surprised I myself didn't come up with that. That's actually a pretty good idea. Um, how easy? It would be pretty easy. It would be pretty easy to just put in everything that exists from 5th edition manually in here. It would be very time consuming. You would be have to willing to share your account with somebody else and then just do it together. It will take a lot of time, but it is pretty easy. You can actually add your own magic items, your own monsters, your own characters, homebrew stuff, your own feats, everything in Dungeons & Dragons that is homebrew, you can put in here manually, no problem. Another question, does it provide stats and stuff for your familiar, pets, mounts, etc.? That's a good question. I do not... I actually do not know about that, so I think we should build a Beastmaster, because he gets a beast. Ranger. Choose a race. Doesn't care, don't care. A dwarf. That's a good question. That's actually, wow, yeah. Choose a class. Ranger. Where is it? Why is it so slow? Hello, Ranger. Ranger. Well, just select it like this. Add class. Okay. Let's make it level 10. Let's just favorite enemy, which is, I like favorite enemy. Otherwise it won't let me go on. Well, where can I... Well, isn't the ranger supposed to have a Beastmaster option? At what level does the ranger get a Beastmaster? Let's make him level 5, because this is just too much. Fighting style. Archetype. Here he is. Here he is. Beastmaster. Ranger's Companion. Doesn't say anything that I need to choose, so doesn't say Ranger's Companion. No, I think it actually doesn't. I'm just really quickly creating a character right now, just to see what it does with the companion. Equipment, we don't care about equipment. Few character sheets. Well, to answer your question, Brian, it looks like it doesn't. It looks like it actually doesn't. Stop me if I'm doing something wrong, but I don't see any stats for a Beastmaster. And then Brian reacts, no way, I'm paying $300+ and not having my freeloaders players chip in and share. Oh, they're talking amongst themselves. So Brian, to answer your question, I think you still have to go into D&D Beyond, maybe go to the monsters, open it in a different thingy right here, and just look it up right here, and just take your beast, for example. I'm just selecting something and I have it. Paul Jamal, thanks for subscribing to my YouTube. I appreciate it. Welcome to the club. There's 14 people watching, which is great. If there's anybody who wants to support me for any amount of money, I mean $1 is enough, go to my Patreon page. because I'm doing this for you guys, and that would be the reason I could keep doing this for a long time, because I will stay on reviewing D&D modules and content like this. I will keep creating it so you can still support me. How much would all the books cost? Well, the French Taunter, I have it's called the, let's go to the marketplace. Paul Jamal says you're welcome. Well, Paul Jamal, no, thank you. Still, thank you very much. Here it is, Legendary Bundle. I lied to you guys. The Legendary Bundle is not $360. It's $335.21. And for that, you get the Player's Handbook, Dungeon Master's Guide, Monsters Manual, Sword Course Adventurer's Guide, Follow's Guide to Monsters, Snapp's Guide to Everything, Lost Mind to Feldavil, Horde of the Dragon Queen, Rise of Tiamat, Princess of the Apocalypse, Out of the Abyss, Curse of Straws, Storm to Stonelord, Tales of the Yawning Portal, Tomb of Annihilation, and the Thordle package. You even get the Thordle package for $335. Then you can buy everything separately. I was looking for the word separately, but it says content unlocked here, so I cannot look up how much it is. If somebody else can, please tell me, because it already says content unlocked. And then you have, if you, for example, this is something I need to say, if you, for example, do not buy anything, and this is something that is important. I think it is important. It is, let's say you don't have $300 to spare and you just want to create a character. It is actually free to create a character from the basic rules of Dungeons & Dragons, which are also free. So you can actually create a character. If you then want to use a feat or something else from the Player's Handbook, but you don't want to buy the entire Player's Handbook, you can actually buy this stuff separately. So to go back to Sander saying microtransactions, well, here you are. Roel is actually saying, is a friend of mine by the way, is actually saying that every book separately would cost you $29.99 American dollars. So thank you for looking that up for me. So yeah, there are actually microtransactions. If you, for example, buy the Player's Handbook, let's say you buy the Player's Handbook, so you have a lot of great options. We have the Player's Handbook in the Dungeons & Dragons Beyond, which is very great, but then we would like to play a race from Follow's Guide. Where the hell is Follow's Guide to Monsters? There it is. You do not have to actually buy the entire Volo's Guide to Monsters. You can actually buy one race from the Volo's Guide to Monsters separately, but then you wouldn't have access to all of the other stuff that's in the Volo's Guide to Monsters. So, any questions? Any questions at all? Feel free to ask, even my shoe size or whatever. What do you think about my cup? It has a heart because I love you guys. I love you guys so much. The French Daughter says Dungeons & Dragons Beyond is run by Electronic Arts. Confirmed. I don't want to sidetrack too much, but people who still pay money for stuff that has the EA badge on it, I can't respect that, because since EA has taken over the gaming industry, shit started hitting the fan. Just saying. So if nobody has any questions anymore, I will probably stop this stream, because I think I am almost ready to do my official review about Dungeons & Dragons Beyond, because this is not my review, this is actually just me showing you guys what Dungeons & Dragons Beyond is about. Brian is saying $50 for a physical copy is not the same as $50 digital, and to make that comparison is ludicrous. It is. I think paying $50 for a digital book is okay. I think it is more than okay, because you have the convenience of the ease of using it. And in a physical copy, you have the convenience of actually touching it with your hands and actually taking it on holiday if you want to play Dungeons and Dragons there, or taking it up some mountain in a cabin where there's no internet. So also, really, I think that it is really a matter of choosing whether you want to buy all the books physically, or you want an app that is easy to use and you want to buy all the stuff digitally. If I would go into Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition right now, I would enter it right now, say I was a new player, I would really have to think about that. I would really struggle with thinking about, what do I want to do? Do I want all of my stuff to be digital, or do I want all of my stuff to be physical? That's actually the question here. Paying for both is just crazy in my opinion, but that's my opinion, and that's maybe because I'm not rich. I don't know. Somebody is asking, where exactly are you from? Region of Mechelen here. Oh, Belgium represents. I am from Bree. Bree, that's in Limburg. That's northeast of Belgium, close to the Dutch border actually. So Belgium represent, yeah. I've been interested in Dungeons & Dragons Beyond, but the place I run doesn't have Wi-Fi access in the basement, so books and paper is all I use. Voila, there you have it. But I have to say that the people from Dungeons & Dragons Beyond have said that they are working on an app that you will be able to use offline. Just saying, it will be there. Maybe after that it will be worth your money. I don't know. Rule says, my problem with Dungeons & Dragons Beyond is the fact that you might be paying a lot of money for an online service which might not be online anymore in, let's say, 2 years. Dungeons & Dragons Beyond gone, money gone. That's actually a good point. I didn't think about that. That's actually a good point. What if they just stop the service? Will they send you PDFs of whatever you paid for? That's actually a good point. Well, if the app is out there and you are able to use all of it offline, probably everything you paid for will probably remain in that app if you decide not to delete the app. But if your phone falls, you're probably screwed. Cool, that argument could be made for Steam. that's actually true. That's actually true. So, guys, I would really like to thank everybody for just joining this random talk about Dungeons & Dragons Beyond. I hope you have learned something from it. Really, I appreciate all of you joining the channel. Please consider subscribing to my channel. Check out some of my other reviews. I also have to say, I am doing a giveaway at this point of, yes, I'm going to say it, it's right here, it's right next to me. I'm doing a giveaway of the book of the Tarrasque. The people from Encoded Designs were friendly enough to send me a book of the Tarrasque to give away to you people. So just check out that video. It is well worth it. It is a very good book about the Tarrasque itself, how to play it, and of course some stuff about old school Tarrasque you can use in 5th edition, so optional rules, regeneration, stuff like that. You really want to win this guy, so go to that video if you are interested. If you are interested in seeing other reviews and other stuff, make sure to subscribe. If you don't want to subscribe, just don't. I want to thank all of you guys for watching. I was and still am Mr. Tarrasque, and I hope your inspiration may guide you.